Yo, another brick in the wall here. Almost done with my shift. I got 10 more stops. So I'm just taking a quick little break and then gonna pound the rest out. Man, I'm sitting here and I'm like, dude, I'm so ready to go home. Like, I just can't wait. And what a kind of like funny thing. Like, I bet you Lewis and Clark were like ready to go home, you know? But they were too busy hiking across the entire United States. Or at the time, like, the frontier, I guess. And they weren't able to go home. They just had to fucking sleep wherever they were. So thank God, in 2024, my biggest concern is just like, dude, my legs are a little bit tired. Like, I can't wait to just go home and like chill. So shout out to Lewis and Clark and the frontiersmen for literally being the most fucking savage people of all time. It's just, I was learning about kind of the story of, you know, how we discovered, well, really kind of how America was like built, you know, how all the states came together and how Andrew Jackson and all these people were just really trying to get all the land and take it from, you know, Britain and French and Mexico and the native people mostly. And man, what those people did, they're like superhuman. Like, and they're actually not superhuman. It's just, we all have 20 times more power than we could ever even imagine. Just, we don't utilize it because we don't really know how, I don't think, in this day and age. But yeah, these people, I mean, they're just built different. So like, I think it was Jefferson who like sent Lewis and Clark across to explore the United States, and they believed, they didn't know what they would find on their trip. So not only, first of all, is this like a 2,000-3,000 mile trek on foot through native infested lands who all want to kill the new settling Europeans because they're taking their land. So just like harsh conditions, native people everywhere, like just the most dangerous thing you could ever imagine to do. And Thomas Jefferson's just like, yeah, we're gonna send you exploring to reach the Pacific coast. And these people are so crazy, like so strong, just so strong. They literally, first of all, had no idea what was west of the Appalachian Mountains. Like, no one had been there before, like no European had been there before or anything like that. So Jefferson and them, they literally believed that there was a chance that they might run into like woolly mammoths, and I don't know how true it is or not, but like I think Jefferson believed that they would come across dinosaurs while they were going across. Like, they just had no idea. And so while Lewis and Clark are doing their expedition, there were accounts of them just saying like it's literally like an alien world, like all these plants and trees and animals and all these things they've never seen. So when they freaking are going through, you know, the plains and all these places, they just literally are like, what the heck is this? Like, everything they look at is just like it's like they got dropped on an alien planet to them, you know? Because, you know, to us, they're just oak trees and palm trees and whatever, but to them, they're like, what the fuck? Like, I'd never seen this before. So, like, I don't know, not only were they just traveling into a completely unknown place, gonna face unknown challenges, walk an unknown amount of distance, and they were just gonna do it, you know, probably because they were gonna be promised like to be set up for life after that, I'm sure, and stuff like that, so they had like financial gain, I'm sure, like, but they also just like wanted to, you know, like they were like, yeah, I'm ready for this job, like this is gonna be cool type of thing. Like I feel like that's kind of a place they were going from, like what an honor to do this mission. That's just my assumption, that's how they felt, I don't know. But so crazy, like these people were so strong. Like everyone's like, oh, Amazon's such an exhausting job, and I'm just like, dude, like this isn't 1/10, 1/20th of like what we could be doing. Like just physically we could be doing so much more, all this stuff. Like these people were such savages, you know. They had like a relatively like easy trek, not like easy like, you know, it was all dangerous, but the terrain that they were traveling for like the first, you know, 2,000 miles across the Appalachians through the Great Plains, like it was a pretty easy terrain. You know, they had their pack mules. I don't know where they met Sacagawea, but they freaking linked up with that lady, and so they all just, you know, formed a savage band, and Sacagawea helped them with the native people and all this stuff. And you know, one thing is so crazy, is literally like God is creating this fucking world, bro, in like just the weirdest way, because, you know, Lewis and Clark met up with Sacagawea and they're walking across the Americas, and they run into a freaking native tribe, and they all got their bows drawn, got them basically at gunpoint. Lewis and Clark and Sacagawea like, we'll kill you, you know, they've been just trying to kill all the Europeans, so this is a very tense situation. And Sacagawea is trying to communicate with them to, like, you know, get on some middle ground understanding. And the dude that they ended up, the tribe that they ended up coming across, and first of all, let me just like kind of paint the picture. Like they're in the middle of the fucking woods, like near Colorado. There's no one around, obviously. There's no settlements, there's no roads, there's no anything. So Lewis and Clark, Sacagawea run into this freaking native tribe, and they're like, Lewis and Clark is like, dude, we're done, we're about to get murked by these people. But the tribe they run into was like Sacagawea's long lost brother, who was like the freaking part of the tribe, like one of the leaders of the tribe, and it was like Sacagawea's like brother. Just what are the odds? Like, dude, talk about like coincidences to the max. Like there's no way, and keep in mind, like this isn't like Lewis and Clark met up with Sacagawea and then, like, you know, 2 days later, like 15 miles from where they met, they run into this tribe. Like, no, they've been trekking forever and they run into this tribe. So it's just like, dude, what are the odds? And if it weren't for that being Sacagawea's like long lost brother, you know, the history of America could be completely different, literally. So yeah, I don't know, just kind of like what kind of weird worldly God creative power made that happen. Because, like, what are the fucking odds? It's not like they're living in Vegas and like run into their aunt at the fucking Smiths. It's like they're in the middle of nowhere and they run into her long lost brother. Like, dude, what? So I don't know, is God real? Who knows? But that's some crazy shit. And so they continue on their journey, whatever. Sacagawea decides to stay with Lewis and Clark because, you know, they create a little band, so that's awesome. And then they approach the Rocky Mountains, and they're like, oh, we're fucked. We're not going to be able to cross these. Obviously, it's miles and miles and miles and hundreds of miles of mountains. And, you know, they don't got all the technology. Like, how are they going to survive the fucking cold? Every 1,000 feet you walk up in the mountains, it gets like 10 degrees colder. So they're freezing. They're starting to run out of food because when you go up in the Rocky Mountains, there's no fucking like bunnies and shit running around. Like, it's just cold, desolate. There's no wasteland. So these people are literally 30 days, I'm pretty sure. I think it takes them 1 month to get through the Rockies. And they've exhausted all their food sources. It may have been 1, even 2 months. I don't even know. And let's just say a month and a half. They exhaust all they had to kill their pack mules to eat them because they ran out of food. So not only are they having to make a decision, like they're probably having to leave gear behind and all this stuff. So like basically to them, they must feel like dead meat, bro. Like they have no idea how long these mountains are gonna go on for. They have no idea where their next meal is gonna come from. They have less gear because the mules aren't able to carry it. So like, dude, these people are just struggling and surviving, bro. And then, you know, it gets so dire where every night, like a communion wafer at church, they're passing out candles made of animal fat. And Sacagawea, Lewis and Clark, and their little band members there are eating candles made of animal fat in order to stay alive. Like a literal fucking candle, eating it like a carrot to survive, just the animal fat. And so they survive and get off the mountain off animal fat candles, bro. And they continue on to do the most fucking insane expedition of their life. Like, just wow. Like, wow. So, as I'm sitting here at work, I'm just like, dude, how fucking lucky am I that I'm just gonna get home and eat chicken and rice and like chill. Like, bro, what? They didn't even know like what their future hold. They had no idea where they were even going. They had an idea of where they were trying to go, but they have no idea really how to get there. They were just basically looked at a compass, was like, that's west, we must go this way. So yeah, I don't know. Shout out to the frontiersmen and the weird freaking coincidence, synchronicity of ways of the universe, because yeah, some real trailblazers literally back then. That's all I know. So anyone who thinks that their job's tough, you know, it might be, but people have been through crazy shit. So yeah, and you know what's funny is like, I probably got paid like Lewis and Clark, when they got back from their trip, probably got paid, who knows and what. I don't even know if they got paid. I don't know what their arrangement was. I know Lewis, Meriwether Lewis, killed himself after the expedition, and Clark went on to be very successful, but Lewis fucking killed himself. So that's crazy. That also just shows you like mental health, bro. Like, you were the most amazing fucking explorer of your time and of all time probably, and yeah, you fucking killed yourself. But yeah, I probably get paid, my paycheck for 1 week of work is probably like what they got paid when they got back. Which is like so funny. I don't know, obviously it's like $600 or whatever is like way more money back then. Like, you're probably rich as fuck if you had $600 in, what is it, like 17, or maybe this was like 1805 or 1820, maybe 1805, around there. Whatever, I don't know. They probably got paid a fuck ton, but yeah, whatever. They're crazy though. Shout out to Lewis and Clark. You know, obviously everyone's heard of them, but I never really realized how just savage they were, bro. Savages, some true savages. And shout out to both of them for making me feel blessed today in 2024. Isn't that weird? Lewis and Clark been dead for 200 and, you know, 30 years probably, and they're still alive today, right now, in my brain, influencing me. It's like, wow, those people really lived on, didn't they? But yeah, I'm about to finish the rest of these deliveries. Peace.